Hey there, how's it going? My name is David, you're watching Kai City RC and welcome to another mini vlog RC Garage Update pre-race edition. So tonight is the first DT-02, DT-03 and Grasshopper Race of this year. Super excited for it, so I thought I'd just do a quick vlog, show you what changes have been made to the buggies since the last race of 2022. So let's get straight into it. So this is my, again, if you want more detailed information, I'll put a link in the description for previous videos. You can go watch those. This is my DT-02 MS. Very few changes for this year. I've swapped out the tires that I had on the front. So now Grasshopper is at their new location. The track is much larger, the corners are much faster, and it's all about basically tire tuning more than anything else. So the old circuit, I originally tried to use high-end carpet tires front and rear, and while they worked really well on the rear, the biggest issue was the front had way too much grip, and every time you tried to turn a corner it would just spin around and do a 180. So I ended up running some ribbed tires at the front, specifically to encourage a little bit of understeer. It worked well at the old circuit because you couldn't go around any of the corners on full throttle because it was just too tight and technical. And so the tires worked well when you weren't on throttle, if you were just like almost like coasting around a corner. But this new circuit, you can go a lot faster and there's just too much understeer. And so I've swapped these out for some, these are VP Racing Wedge Evo, I think. I did a bit of testing the other day. They seem to work really well. So new tires at the front, and I've also replaced the dampers. So my DT-02 is the MS Special Edition. It comes with these dampers in kit form. Now these dampers are actually very good for dirt and just general use, but I have issues with the shock seals constantly tearing on bigger jumps. They're just not really designed for big jumps. So they use like these little green shock seals diaphragms on the top, and the way the cap is designed, if you jump high, land hard, it just splits the rubber seal and then all the oil leaks out. So I've replaced these with the mid-tier aeration dampers. Just the durability more than anything else, no performance. I don't really notice any performance gain. I mean, these work really well, but I don't have to worry about any oil seals blowing out. So that's the only other change I've done to the DT-02 for this race season. Onto the Grasshopper. So Grasshopper has gone through multiple changes, modifications. So where should I start? Well, tires first. So my last two races I was using this wheel and tire combo, and this gave me a nice balance. I got plenty of grip at the rear, and in the front, again, if you got too much grip at the front, the Grasshopper will just roll on every corner. So these hybrid ribbon pin spike tires give me just the right amount of grip, a little bit of understeer, but not too much, and it worked really well. I have no problem using these again. The issue, not the issue, is like I just mentioned, Grasshopper now, the new circuit is much faster, and a lot of the other racers were running Blitzbeater rear wheels and tires to give them extra speed. It didn't really matter so much at the old circuit because there wasn't any long straights, and it was kind of a slow speed circuit. But this new one, I did some comparisons between these tires and the regular tires, and it's just, the speed difference is just too great. No matter how carefully or how well I drove around the infield area, once it got to the long straight and the sweeping corners, I would just lose out. So I've had to go back to putting these wheels and tires on the rear. Incidentally, I actually ran these on my Grasshopper too for my first race. I took them off simply because I didn't like the fact that they were so much wider at the rear than the front, and I had multiple problems where I would clip the barrier on the apex of a corner just because I wasn't used to having such wide tires at the rear. I mean, there are some negatives to having such wide stance at the rear. Yeah, it gives you a lot of stability, but it also means you're more likely to hit things, or people are likely to hit you. But the speed benefits are undeniable. So put back on the Blitz beater wheels and tires. And then since these Wedge Evos do really well with the DT-02, I'm actually running them on the Grasshopper as well. I haven't tested them yet. Today will be testing day, just before the race. If they don't work out, then I'll just switch back to these ones. Also, yeah, new motors gone in. So this is it's 380 motor, but it's a limited edition. I think it's limited. It's a special edition by a local circuit here in Japan, Pine Beach Raceway. I wouldn't say it's any faster than the standard 380. It's just slightly different tuned. But you can run this. This is okay for regulation, so I figured I might as well run this. It's a nice looking motor. So a new motor's gone in as well, and also just done some suspension tweaks and replaced the little metal wire rod steering tie rods with some proper turnbuckle ones, so I can basically set the toe out. Before, I just when you start to lower down the Grasshopper, you basically got no choice. It's toe in or nothing. I wanted a bit more adjustability, so I've got turnbuckles on now, so that gives me a little bit of toe out. And same as before, lunchbox axles. Well, lunchbox? I think they're lunchbox axles at the front. To widen the stance, just use some plastic bushings and O-rings to kind of bring it right out. And that's it really. So looking forward to tonight's race. I'll let you know how I do. There will be a race report, so I'll catch you in the next one. My name is David. This is Kai City RC. Thanks for watching.